Okay, Rob, this is how I try and work lipos up. Don't do it yourself. So you put it on metal hydride charge. I've put it down to 0.1 of an amp. We're doing a 7.2 volt battery, which is 6S, same as a lipo. You don't have the balance lead plugged in. I've just put my meter on so I can see what's happening. And the cell that was at 0 has woken up to 1.7. So currently the pack's there. So one cell's at 3.7. And that cell's come up. So I'm going to keep going until that cell gets over 3.5 volts and see what happens. So you can see I'm still charging at 0.1 of an amp. Done 30 seconds coming up. Pack voltage is now at 594. That cell that was asleep is now at 205 volts. There's your pack total, 603, which roughly matches that one. 37 on the good cell. So that cell's coming up gently. I'll increase the amps a bit. There we go, I'm going to increase the amps. Try 0.3, it'll just make it work a bit harder charging. Takes a minute or two for the charger to kick up to 0.3 of an amp. That was your good cell. And that's the cell that was under. That's now up at 2.5. So we might get this one back. Use my charge lead I have. For your other one I've got to make an adapter. Right, so I've now got your battery onto lipo charge 2S, 0.3 of an amp I left it at, 6.4, 37.8 seconds in, and it's registering voltage on board. So that's tricked it by putting it on metal hydride, so if the voltage high enough for the charger to see the cell that was down. So at 0.3 of an amp it will take a while for that to come up. We'll just have to wait and see. Cell meter setting on my charger. So here's the battery is 655 and 2 cells are showing. So I'll continue to gently work this one up. Right, here's your other smaller pack. Nothing in one cell and very little in the other according to the meter. Very sketchy, right, so I've set that to NIM. See what happens. Right, so it's woke it up. One cell's at 4. So it's possibly registering. Not sure yet. Have to wait and see. Give it a few more minutes. Yeah, so one cell's at 4. The pack's at 5.8. Another cell that's very low is at 1.87. So once that gets over 2.5, I think the charger will register it as a lipo again. Right, so I've been trying to revive this lipo. I was on a balance charge yesterday up to storage mode rather, and I didn't finish it, I just left it. Stopped early. Right, so I've put it on this meter. Pack voltage, cell 1, cell 2. So there's only 0.1 of a volt difference between the two cells. And this button should give me a max difference. There, 0.109 difference between the two. And then it shows you two cells, right, and the pack voltage. So now we're going to do a charge to 4.2 per cell. Let the charger handle it, see if it comes back to life. Alright, so I'll now finish off this storage charge. I'll get the lipo bug out in a minute. Just want to check it. Storage, just do 5 amps, it doesn't need any more. Press and hold. Alright, so it's not going to go to 5 amps because one cell is 3.9, one's 3.8. So I'm going to guess for storage mode it's going to try and balance those out. Yeah, down to 2.7, 2.4. So maybe we just need to go straight onto a balanced charge, take them both up to 4.2. And when cell 1 reaches 4.2, the amps will drop off and cell 2 will start to take over and slowly creep up to 4.2. Let's do that. I'll stop that. Alright, so as you can see now I've gone for the lipo bag because I'm finishing the charge off. I've put an extension lead on for the sensor wire rather than just trying to plug the lipo into there off the short lead it has for balance port charging. Because it doesn't fit and you can't get, it does fit but you can't get the lipo into the bag as well, so it's sensible to have one of these. That's what, 100mm I think. Other sizes are available. Right, down to the charger. Right, so I've got it to go to on balance, set for balance, 5 amps. And we're away. So a few seconds and it'll decide to go up to 5 amps. There we go. Pack's at 8 volts. And there's the cells. One's at 409, one's at 3.9. And when cell 1 gets up to 4.2 amps, charge amps will back off and it'll continue at a lower rate of charge amps to finish topping off cell 2, hopefully to 4.2. Alright, so what's that? 10 minutes in, the amps have now dropped down to 0.3, 0.4 because cell 1 has got itself up to 4.19, 4.2 I've seen. So it'll now charge cell 2 and try and bring that up to 4.2. That's going to take a while. Wrong button. Like you say, I'm on balance charge, so it's going to do 0.3 of an amp all the way up to 8.4. Hopefully cell 3 will get there. Cell 3, cell 2. We'll have to wait and see. I didn't quite get up to 4.2 on that cell 2. I'm going to give it a discharge at 5 amps, see what the cell performs like. I'll set that down to what? 7.6 will do just for a short test. And once I've done a little test, see what the voltage is like under load. So I'm going to set that to 7.6, 5 amp discharge. There's the current status. 418 on one cell, it's the second cell which struggling to get up past that, so I may do a 1S charge on that. To do a little video on how I do that. Right, so I'll set the discharge away, press and hold. Right, so now doing 5 amps, down to 7.6, and this voltage should start to drop. There we go, she's come down to 809. For the pack, that cell's dropped a little, and so is that one. So yeah, there you go, currently at 5 amps. We'll give it, we've been on 2 minutes nearly. The 5 amp load on that cell hasn't suddenly dropped the voltage, which is good. Pack's come down a little. There's a little bit off that cell. And I think I'll do a 1S charge on that. I'll have to use another charger. Back later. So after that 2 minute discharge at 5 amps, I've gone for a fast charge. So it won't do a full balance at the top end of the charge. It'll still register the voltages, which we'll see in a second. So one cell's, number one's at 4.2, and the other cell's at 4. But it's putting 3 amps in rather than the 0.03 I think it was doing before on a balance charge. Let's see what that does. Just checking the internal resistance of the cells. And cell 2 isn't that bad really, even though it's been down to 0. Right, so I'll continue the charging of that. Right, so I've just popped them on a different chargers and we'll try this one out. This will do internal resistance. And it's got the 6,200 milliamp hour batteries finally balanced. And we'll have a look at the internal resistance now. Battery meter, there we go, there we are. So 3 and 4 ohms, so that looks like it could be a good pack. We'll now do a 5 amp discharge down to storage voltages and see what gives. So this is Rob's 2S 6,200 milliamp hour battery that was dead on one cell. I've brought it back to life. The little meter's saying it's at 8.4 on a pack, 846 on there, so we'll not worry about that. We'll do a 5 amp discharge down to 7.8. So we're near storage voltage. And see if that cell's weak or not. 7.8, yeah, that'll do. And there we go. 5 amps load. It's got a load on the batteries. So let's see. 417 and 418 on the weak cell. The cell that was at 0 was number 2. It's now got a 5 amp discharge on. I'll take that pack down to, what was it, 7.8 I set it. This little meter, if that one of the cells drops to, I think I've set it to 3.5, it will alarm and let me know. See if I can check it. I think I can check it while I'm doing this. It's press and hold. No, it's not doing it. There's a way to set it and I can't remember which. Maybe it's in use and I can't do it. Yeah, we'll come back to it. There'll be plenty of videos on YouTube on how to set those. So 2 minutes in, 414, 416, so they're dropping evenly at the minute. So maybe a usable lipo again. A little bit further into the discharge. I can't remember how long it's been going now. But we're down to 813 for the pack, 406 and 407. So I reckon that cell, the number 2 cell in the pack, is holding up well at the moment. Right, discharge done. We're at 7.8. The voltage is bounced back up once your load's taken off, but the pack is now at 793, 396 for 1 cell, 397 for number 2 cell. So I think that'll be recovered. I'll put this away for a day. Let's leave it settle, see what the voltages are like tomorrow. Been stood all night at storage voltage. Just come on a discharge 10 minutes ago. Taking out nearly 2000 milliamp hour. As you can see down here, your voltages on your cells are all good. 374, 375, and that's your 2 cells. I set the discharger down to 5.4, so it'll give them a good workout. And then I'll put a full storage charge, a full charge back in, and then I'll leave them in storage mode.